Boy, oh boy, it's just about that time. Week 2 of games. Here is our schedule. And the teams have stayed the same from week 1, no trades yet. Other than the Diddy Kong for Dixie Kong trade. That has been the only trade so far, although we do have a couple lineup changes. The Stars have shifted around some defensive positions, and the Rocketeers have a whole new look. Same players, but they've shifted both their batting lineup order and a lot of their defensive positions as well. They're hoping to make up for a disappointing week 1, getting swept by the Lightning. They'll have to face the Flock, who also won all 3 games of their first week. Tax Evaders, the only other team to win a game. All 3 series ended in 3-0 sweeps. Lightning, Tax Evaders, and Flock tied at 3-0. Fury, Stars, and Rocketeers tied at 0-3. And for our first game tonight, we will be watching the Tax Evaders take on the Stars. Oh. And that will be back on the Stars, returning to the Stars' home stadium of Wario Palace. That's exactly where their opening series took place. And the Lightning is again hosting this week as well at Yoshi Park. The only different host is the Flock, whereas last week the Fury was hosting games. So, suppose we should get into it. And we have some top players over on the right side and the whole game schedule over on the left. How fancy. I went ahead and made these over the past day or so. So you will get the top players for the Tax Evaders. Their leading players are Hammer Bro, Boomerang Bro, and Peach, doing a phenomenal job as their pitcher, while the 2 offensive bros are carrying, while Bowser seems to be lagging a little bit behind. For the Stars, their top players are King Boo, who had a phenomenal game in Game 3 of Week 1 to climb up the leaderboard and enter top 5 players in terms of RBI. He also has 3 home runs to go along with it. Another 3 home run player is Red Toad, which is quite the surprise, batting almost 700 as well. Phenomenal batting average. Then their other top player is Toadette, who's been a speed demon, managing to get a stolen base on offense and a whole double play all by herself on defense. And now, it's about time to get these rosters moving. Home team is the Stars, and that is Captain Waluigi. I was told my audio was cracking. Is it a little better now, perhaps? I've turned it down a bit. Feel free to mention in the chat if it is still cracking. While I pull up these lineups. Okay. For the Stars, they have Toad, Wario, King Boo, of course, Dark Drybones. Oh. Called Red Drybones in this game, but he's Dark Bones. We all know him. A tiny bit, not that bad. Okay. That's good enough. This is a kind of shitty microphone. At least in terms of the crackle. I think the audio quality is pretty decent. Hell of a lot better than the laptop mic that I use, the default one, most of the time. Game audio sounds fine. That's good to hear. Let's see. Who else do they have? Red Magikoopa, Red Noki. This is the team of Reds, I suppose. Then Monty and Toadette. Now, this team did go ahead and swap King Boo from the outfield to first base and moving Toadette to the outfield, which I think is a great decision from them. As Toadette is quick, she is tied with Yoshi, fastest player in the game. Always good to have that speed in the outfield, especially left field, where a lot of home run hitters tend to hit with weaker power. And this looks good for their defensive positions. Now over to the Tax Evaders, who finally have a logo. They finally made the logo, turned it in. and it is in the game for this week. So that means every single team is finally fully modded into the game. They have green Koopa, red Paratroopa. Of course, their star pitcher, Peach. They have black Shy Guy. The last one is green Magic Koopa. Defensive positions, I almost just clicked next. Might as well do these while we have the time. Boomerang Bro is the catcher, I believe, yes. Hammer Bro in center. Alright, and that should be good for them. Black Shy Guy, green Koopa, yep. That's their infield and outfield. Look at that logo. Now time for the orders. For the Stars, leading off with Red Toad. Then they have Dark Bones, starred King Boo, a very threatening player. And this is their lineup. They didn't want to change any of the handedness. None of the really teams have changed many of those. Only me. Am I just paranoid and doing more than necessary, or do I secretly know ball? Who knows? I guess we'll find out. Personally, I hope that I know ball. I hope that I'm not just switching those for no reason, and it doesn't really change that much. But maybe most of the defaults are pretty good. Alright. Week 2, Tax Evaders and Stars. Ready to start this first game. Let me go ahead and save the game so that if something goes wrong, we can get right back to here. And let us begin the first game of the night. Getting this done, getting this game started in record time. So we get right to the baseball. Tax Evaders and Stars. First game of week 2, game day 1. Bowser Jr., one of the best leadoff hitters in the league. He has a very consistent bat, but this time he's not going to get one down. That is an out pop fly to right field. Next up is Hammer Bro, the second highest ranked player in terms of RBI. Tied for first in terms of home runs. He's going to pop this up to center field. It gets down, and that's a base hit. Starting off strong for the Tax Evaders. Now they have starred Boomerang Bro up. Starred Boomerang Bro gets good contact, and that's gone. That is a 2-run homer to start the game for the Tax Evaders. And that puts him ahead of Hammer Bro in terms of home runs, as we can see on that sheet. That's their stats coming into this game. I'm not going to be updating those mid-game. Do not make me calculate batting averages mid-game. Hell nah. And next up is Bowser. He's had a bit of a lackluster season so far. He's hit several home runs, but probably doesn't get many RBI because the other two batters clear the bases before he gets the chance to. And that's a home run from Bowser. No, it's not. Bounces off the top of the wall. That'll get down for a double. But not quite out of the park. And that brings up green Koopa. He has been sneakily hitting pretty well as a batter. And that's not a good example right there, as he pops straight out to the second baseman, Wario. Star pitch from Waluigi, but it's not going to help as Red Koopa Paratroopa gets the base hit. And that leaves runners on the corners for Peach, not the captain of this team, but certainly a player capable of using a captain star hit if she feels the need, and she does. She hits it over into left field. Is Toadette there? No. She gets distracted, heads to the wrong spot. And the Tax Evaders score 2 more from that one. A 2 RBI double from Peach. What a phenomenal star hit for her. Hoping for a better week for the Rocketeers. Yeah, I hope so for your sake. But you're taking on the Flock, who is another scary team for sure. Another star pitch from Waluigi. Bad contact from Shy Guy. That should end the inning. No, it's caught in the tornado. Thrown to the Chain Chomp, and it goes foul. Shy Guy hits that one. It goes foul, but it's bumped in by the Chain Chomp, and an easy out for Toadette. Unfortunate end of the inning, but a 4 spot is a great way to start a game. Now the Stars take up offense. They've got Toad leading off for them. One of their top players. Has 3 home runs on the season so far in just 3 games. Up there with some of the top power hitters in the league, and that might be another one. That's going to be Red Toad's 4th home run on the season. What an incredible performance so far from this Toad. And it's not even really just this Toad. All of the Toads have been popping off. I don't think a single Toad has below a 400 batting average. I think the worst ones are Green Toad. Yellow Toad has a home run. I believe at least one of Blue and Purple Toad has a home run. But Darkbones is up next, and he's going to get on base for the Stars. Down by 3, 4-1, but King Boo is up at the plate, hoping to cut that down. Does the stat sidebar update automatically? No, I wish it did. That would be cool. I'm not sure how I would manage that. But these are just the stats from the previous game. They will be updated between games, not during the games. Ball 4, we see the first walk ever in this league. Peach does not want to give up a 2-shot home run to King Boo. She feels more confident getting outs on Wario and Waluigi. But considering there's no outs on the inning, that might have been a risky play for her. Let's see if she can make it count. But a Wario star hit's going to make that difficult. It's a 50-50. And the Tax Evaders get lucky there. They get the first out. And now Waluigi, he has no stars. He's got to just hit this one raw. And he gets a good slap hit. That's going to get down and load the bases for none other than Red Magic Koopa. Red Magic Koopa's had a decent showing so far. Not an exceptional offensive player. They're more useful for their defense, the Magic Koopas are. That's a tragic double play. Hit to Bowser's glove, and he's already standing on first. That ends the inning right there, and it turns out Peach made a good decision, taking the risk on walking King Boo. And now that leads to Green Magic Koopa. That one is high and deep. A Magic Koopa slap hit home run. What are we watching right now? Oh my gosh, that is so incredibly that's so incredibly lucky for the Tax Evaders. Incredibly unlucky for the Stars. You're not going to see a hit like that very often. So take that one in and savor it. That brings us back to the top of the lineup for the Tax Evaders, where Bowser Jr. hits into another out over into that right field. Same side as well. Hammer Bro makes good contact, and that one is gone. Another home run on this inning. He is now tied back up with Boomerang Pro for most home runs. Force the Tax Evaders to auto-draft their first 3 picks next season. You know, I wouldn't be against it. Could help balance the league a little bit. We'll have to see what happens when the Tax Evaders take on the Lightning, because I think that'll be an interesting matchup. I think my team is a little less offensive, but a little more defensively focused, whereas that seems to be a weakness for the Tax Evaders. Hasn't shown so far in that first inning, so maybe their pitching is good enough to make up for it. Oh, a Red Toad bobble is going to get Boomerang Bro to second base. We'll just have to see if the defense can make up for the gap in the offense. As Bowser hits a big shot, and it is gone. 2-run home run. And Bowser puts himself one more step up on the home run leaderboards. And the Tax Evaders already starting to run away with this one, and it's only the second inning. It's 8-1. Still just 1 out for them. Koopa Troopa hits a ball back to the wall and manages to get a standing double. Could have even maybe gone for 3 there. Probably a good decision not to, but... And Paratroopa puts runners on the corners for none other than Peach. She has an opportunity to go for another star hit. Instead, she'll opt to slap it. And they're going to try and get the double play to end the inning. They do. They prevent that run. Another 4 spot for the Tax Evaders, though. They aren't complaining. Would have been nice to get more, but 4 is nice. As long as they're outscoring the Stars, can't be too upset about that. As the Stars will dribble that one into an easy play. Monty Mole. Monty Mole up at the bat. 2 strikes. And he strikes out swinging on what looked to be an outside ball. Toadette swings at that, and it goes foul. Toadette making contact again. This one goes straight up the middle. That'll be a base hit. Red Toad up now. He has chemistry, and he's already got a home run on this game. Can he do it again? That's a 10% boost to his power. Peach is throwing balls. Toadette's trying to steal. Strike swinging, and Toadette does. That is her second stolen base. That is the second stolen base I've ever seen. Toadette showing up on offense. Toad strikes out looking, and that ends the inning. Toadette's base steal was for nothing. And that's a 0 for the Stars. They get an easy out first on defense, though. Dark Bones was right there for that one. Now we have Green Madge up to bat. Hits that one high. Is that another home run for Green Magic Koopa? What is happening? He has the most home runs in this game for the Tax Evaders. Hammer Bro has 1, Boomerang Bro has 1, Bowser has 1, but Green Magic Koopa is 2 for 2 for solo home runs. That is incredible. Now we have Bowser Jr. Is he going to finally get a base hit? Yes, he does. The slap home runs go crazy. Getting 1 of those in a season is impressive. 2 in the same game is diabolical. Hammer Bro, and that's going to be another home run. This one gets 2 more for the Tax Evaders. On a small stadium like Wario Palace, teams do not stand a single chance against this offense. God, can you imagine if they didn't have Peach Gardens as their home stadium? This would be the most terrifying team ever crafted. And that's another home run from Boomerang Bro. What are we doing? Oh my gosh. How did we let this happen? How did we let this team come into existence? That has been 3 home runs on the inning. It is now 12-1 in the top of the 3rd. Bowser hits a deep shot. This one is not a home run. Shocker. It will be a single for Bowser. And there's still only 1 out on the inning. Green Koopa hits this one into the tornado. That one's thrown to the chain chomp and knocked in for a fair ball. That is a base hit for Green Koopa. And now is Red Para Failed pickoff attempt. Slap hit from Para. It gets past Magikoopa. And that's bases loaded. Bases loaded for Peach. Is she going to use her star pitch again? Or star hit? They certainly have the stars saved up for it. No, instead she'll slap into a potential double play. And they do it. They stop any more runs. Another 4 spot for the Tax Evaders. They are on pace to score 28 runs in this game. That would certainly be a record for this league. The most runs scored in a single game by a single team was 19 by the Tax Evaders themselves. They need just 8 runs in the next 4 innings to break that record. On pace for it for sure, but can the Stars score any more runs? Is the real question. 2 strikes on King Boo, not looking good, and he strikes out looking at that one. That'll bring up Wario into Waluigi. Good contact, but bad timing, and it goes foul. Wario sends that one through the ground. And clear past the infield for a safe base hit. That brings up Captain Waluigi. He can try and star hit to get a run in. That's still only a 50-50 though. Will he do it? No, he goes for a slap. That'll load the bases for Red Magikoopa. He steps up to the plate with 1 out, bases loaded. This could be a run scored, or with a Peach star pitch and a missed star swing from Red Madge. That one manages to hit though. That'll get down for a deep single. In fact, that's going to be a double. Are they going to clear the bases? Waluigi's going home, but he doesn't make it. They do still get 2 runs, but the greed stops them and gets them 1 more out on the inning. So any more mistakes and they're done with this rally. Another star pitch from Peach into a low power slap from Red Noki, and that's thrown out at first. 2 runs for the Stars. They're still down 12-3. Now the Tax Evaders look to pile on some more runs. They want to show their offensive dominance here. Shy Guy hits a high ball, but it is popped out to Red Toad. He is not like the power hitters. Not quite. But hey, if Green Madge was doing it, why not try? As Green Madge slaps up through the middle there to make it on base. And now that gives chemistry to Bowser Jr., who waits for that one, lets it go by. Strike 2. That's a great diving catch by Wario. That gets the out. 2 outs on the inning. With Hammer Bro up to bat. He hits this one high, but it is not deep. That is popped out to Red Toad, and that ends the inning. Scoreless for the Tax Evaders. First inning so far. Good defense from the Stars. Now they're looking to turn it around on offense as well. A bad pop-up by Monty. Not what you want to see. That was an infield fly. Not technically speaking, but you know. A pop fly to the infield player. And Toadette takes 3 pitches looking the whole time. That's another strikeout for Peach. She has a lot of strikeouts on the season so far, second only to Boo. But her ERA is significantly better. So I'd still consider her the top pitcher so far. As the Stars get 2 runners on base for none other than starred King Boo. In a 2-out situation, CPU might be looking to use a star hit here to drive in those runs. No, they'll go for a charge swing. They miss that one. King Boo. Star swings but misses. Doesn't move to the ball. And that's another 0 spot for the Stars. Very disappointing for our Stars fans. And that brings up Boomerang Bro for the Tax Evaders offense. A bobble by Dark Bones, but Waluigi's there to get it. And that is the first time that Boomerang Bro has not made it on base. The first time he has popped out. Every single other one of his at-bats this season have either been home runs, base hits, or strikeouts. That is his first time making contact with the ball, putting it in play, and not making it to base safely, which is a staggering stat. Even through 3 games, that is very impressive. And Bowser made it on base safely. Green Koopa was out, and Red Para makes it on base now. 2 runners on for Peach. She does not have enough stars to use a special hit. Instead, she'll slap this one, and it gets down through the infield. Base is loaded for none other than Black Shy Guy. Will he be able to drive this one in? Score any more runs for the Tax Evaders? Will they get another 0 spot, back to back? He star hits that one, but Toadette is able to get there. And that's another 0 for the Tax Evaders. If they want this record, they need 8 more runs in those last 2 innings. Meanwhile, if the Stars want to win this game, they need 10 more runs in these last 3 innings for them. Good line drive from Wario. Gets him on base safely. Now we have Waluigi, the captain player for the Stars. He's going to whiff that one. Good contact there, sends it straight up the middle, and earns a star for his team, hitting into that dust pile. Now Red Magic Koopa has an opportunity, if they want to use that star. But Peach throws a nasty fastball that curves to the outside. They make good contact, but it goes foul. And in 2 strikes, they will watch that one go by for strike 3. Peach notches another strikeout. Now Red Noki up to bat. 2 runners on, 1 out. And now she has 2 quick strikes. She'll star hit, but that goes foul. They'll have another chance, staying alive in the at-bat. But a charge swing miss is going to end that at-bat. 2 outs now, still the same 2 runners on base for Monty Mole. Monty gets 2 quick strikes as well. Will he be able to get a hit on the last swing? No, he whiffs it, and that's another strikeout for Peach. They end the inning with another 0 runs scored. 2 completely silent innings from both teams. Very uncharacteristic, especially for the Tax Evaders. But I suppose with their explosive potential, they're more of a score a lot of runs or score none kind of team. And that's a strikeout for Waluigi. He doesn't have a ton of those on the season. I believe he has 9. It might be 9 or 8. Regardless, he's tied for one of the bottom positions as Bowser Jr. manages to hit a home run there, a solo shot, to open the scoring up after 2.5 silent innings. That is now a 10-run lead for the Tax Evaders, 13-3. Hammer Bro looks to extend that even further, makes good contact. Is it gone? It's deep. And yes, it is, just over the wall. And that's another home run, back-to-back for the Tax Evaders. Can they get 3 in a row? Will Boomerang Bro be able to keep up the pace? Or will he slap on base and let Bowser do the big hits? Boomerang Bro has a star, so he certainly has the power for it. As long as he makes good contact. He looks at those 2 pitches. He charges for this one, but strikes out there. Another big out for Waluigi. Bowser manages to drive that one in there. He continues the streak. He picks it back up after Boomerang Bro failed. And that is 3 home runs on the inning. 3 solo shots. What an incredibly offensive team the Stars are facing. This would be a tough matchup for any of these teams, truly. With Green Koopa up to bat now. He sends this one over into right field. That's going to get down for a single. And Red Para up at the bat now. 2 outs, a runner on base. He's going to slap this one. Wario grabs it and throws the out. That ends it with a 3 spot for the Tax Evaders. They are 4 runs away from tying their record, 5 away from breaking it. As the Stars just try to lose this game by a little less than 10. They will not get a good start there. Toadette hits into an out. Toad. 1 out, 1 strike. Bad contact on that one. That'll be foul. And with 2 strikes, he swings and misses. And that's another strikeout for Peach. It's surprising how often I have to say that. I suppose it's not surprising looking at the stats. 17 strikeouts from 3 games. And she gets another strikeout there on Dark Bones to end the inning. With another 0 for the Stars. Both teams have 1 more chance. Tax Evaders starting off with Peach, and she hits it high and deep. That is a Peach home run. Peach showing she's not just a defensive piece, she can help out on offense as well. Everyone on this team is hitting home runs today. That is the Tax Evaders offense. Maybe they were inspired by finally getting their logos added to the game. They are some good looking logos. It's a good slap by Black Shy Guy. And he gets on base. Green Magic Koopa, 2 home runs on the game. With a 1-1 count, runner on base, and no outs. A lot to work with here. 2-2 count. And now she's starting to be in danger. Magic Koopa strikes out looking. That's another one for Waluigi. Swing and a miss from Bowser Jr. Just looks at that one go by. 2 quick strikes for him. And he doesn't swing at that one. That is another strikeout for Waluigi. This is a good game for him so far. At least in this latter half. Not so good in those first couple innings. Big shot by Hammer Bro, and that's gone. 2 more runs will score for the Tax Evaders. And that puts them right up behind their record. Score is now 18-3. With 2 outs, they have Boomerang Bro and Bowser to try and break this record. Boomerang Bro, Star hits that one. That will get down for a single for him. In fact, he's going for 2, and he will make it with ease. And now Bowser with chemistry. Hits this one, but it's too shallow. It gets down. It's a base hit for him, and a run driven in. That ties their record. 19-3. Run differential is not as good as the game that they scored 19 in previously. And that should end their inning. They do not manage to break the record, but they tie it. 19 runs to the Stars 3. Stars will lead off with King Boo. Will he be able to do anything this game, or is this just not King Boo's game? King Boo charging a little early, but he makes good contact there, and that one's gone. King Boo manages to get himself a home run here. Help make that loss look a little bit better, at least. As he bumps the Stars up to 4 runs. Still down by quite a bit. But that's the start of a rally. Probably not a 15-run rally. But if it happens, that's how it would start, truly. Wario gets on base, now is Waluigi. With an unfortunate slap that takes out the lead runner, but it is not a double play. Waluigi still makes it on safe. Now we got Red Magic Koopa up to bat. They're going to lay down a great slap over into the left side. That's 2 runners on base. For none other than Red Noki. Bit of a disappointing offensive season so far. Struck out quite a few times. And will pop fly out there. Red Noki has the 2nd worst batting average on this team, right behind Red Magic Koopa. But I suspect that might change after Magic Koopa's had a pretty solid game here. Monty Mole will hit into the end of the game there. And that will end the first game of the night for us. 19-4 win for the Tax Evaders. What an incredible game for them. Their offense was on fire. Which is ironic considering that's the only bro they don't have. And the MVP is Hammer Bro. He has done an astonishing job. Especially considering Boomerang Bro has been given the star to boost his batting power and contact in every single game so far. Hammer Bro is like that. 4 home runs in a single game. Oh my lord. 6 RBI as well. Boomerang Bro and Bowser with 2. Nothing to scoff at. And Green Magic Koopa has 2. Peach gets 1. Bowser Jr. gets 1. And that's 12 total home runs on the game for the Tax Evaders. That is an absurd number. That is ridiculous. 4 for Hammer Bro. That is maybe MVP of the league right there. Holy. He may not be leading in RBI, but he will certainly be leading in home runs after this. He has taken the lead in RBI. He's at 18 now, while my PD Piranha sits at 17. He'll still score in his game later tonight, I hope. He better. And Peach gets 10 strikeouts on the night. That's going to boost her to 27 on the season. That is very impressive for her. 5.14 ERA. That's solid for this game. What a performance. Waluigi getting 4 strikeouts, not too bad. It's a rough-looking ERA for him. And their offense was very, very lacking. The leadoff homer from Red Toad, very impressive. He's done way too much for this team on offense. Bowser's 6 for 6 is huge. He's making up. He's catching up on those bros, making ground for his MVP run. Stars offense just lacking in every way. Oh, that black hole on their batting lineup. 2 0 spots. 0 for 3. 0 for 3. Actually, I think both of them were 0 for 4 because I ended the game. That is really unfortunate for them. Toadette only got 1 hit. That was certainly a dead part of their lineup. And King Boo was for most of that game as well. Only scoring 1 hit, which was a solo shot homer. They got to work on the team chemistry. They got to hit those rallies together as a unit instead of just hitting a couple individual slaps. And that was a phenomenal performance for the Tax Evaders there. And that will end the first game of the night. What a performance. Now we move on to game 2. We have the new sidebars. This one will be the Fury at the Lightning. The Lightning are the home team, and so they will get first captain. They've got Mario, PD, DK, 2 Piantas, because who doesn't love Piantas? Blue Magic Koopa, and 2 Toads, Yellow Toad and Green Toad. We are trying something new. We are going to have Red Pianta on first instead of third, Magic Koopa on third, and we're swapping Donkey Kong and Yellow Pianta as well. Hoping to get those chem throws to first with the Piantas for some easier double plays. So a slight defensive change. The rest of it stays about the same. And the Fury, their lineup has not changed at all. Honestly, not much you can do to change this lineup. It's pretty set in stone. They've got babies in the outfield. They've got Paragoomba in center field. Daisy pitching. Green Bones is second base. Blue Bones is shortstop. Yellow Shy Guy's on third. And they have Goomba on first. Interesting. Oh, Gray Bones is on second, not Green Bones. How foolish of me. They have slightly different stats. Maybe it'll matter. I think perhaps a tweak the Fury could look into is moving Dry Bones to first to have that chemistry throwing to first for those better double plays, especially because both of their infielders would have chem with Dry Bones on first. Not saying they have to, just something to look into. Another possibility could be moving Paragoomba to third and putting Shy Guy in the outfield, as that center field spot is kind of the biggest throwaway spot in the field, other than catcher probably. And Paragoomba has a great jump ability, which would be very useful on third base. Plus they have plenty of speed from the babies, so I don't think Paragoomba's speed is exactly necessary. Just a couple things I would personally change, but if this is the lineup they want, this is the one we're sticking with. And a slight offensive tweak for me as well, just switching TK and PD. I'll leave that as is. Alright. Moving over here, their star player will be Blue Dry Bones. Green Bones. Then they have Paragoomba Goomba, Daisy, Baby Mario, Baby Luigi. Baby Luigi has been pretty solid on offense, hitting a whole 500, which is pretty impressive for a baby. Meanwhile, Baby Mario, has been batting .182. He is 2 for 11 this season, which is incredibly terrible. I believe that is dead last in the whole league. And we are on Yoshi Park, which is the Lightning home stadium, which is a very small stadium as well. This should be a bad matchup for the Fury, considering they have much more of a slap-hitting team. Their top players over on that right side, we have, I believe that's Gray Bones up at the top. Let me double check. The bones are a little hard to tell. Yes, that is Gray Dry Bones. Batting .539 with 5 RBI. Their pitcher, Daisy, 12.67 ERA. Pretty solid, especially for facing the tax evaders. That was a good defensive performance for her, getting those 12 strikeouts. And they have Blue Dry Bones, their star hitter, who has half a double play, solid defensive player, and .615 batting average. That is their highest on the team. That is a great batting average. Meanwhile, looking down at the Lightning, their top players are PD Piranha, previously leading the league, at least through week 1. 17 RBI with 5 home runs. Donkey Kong, 5 RBI, a little bit worse offensively, but he has 2 double plays turned. One of the top defensive players in the league, but the best defensive player in the whole league so far has been Blue Magikupa, with 3.5 double plays turned in 3 games. He's averaging more than a double play by himself in each game. That is very impressive, considering you only get .5 for most participations in double plays. And he's also not slacking on offense, batting a whole .500. This is going to be a rough battle, an uphill battle for the Fury, while the Lightning look to show off their slightly tweaked lineups, hoping to perhaps test some different things against these easier games. Still not guaranteed by any means. But at least for this stadium, it's going to be tough for the Fury to keep up with the Lightning's offense. The Fury starting off with their yellow Shy Guy, and he's going to get a base hit down to start this game. Green Dry Bones up next. They've been consistent hitters, but Blue Madge gets the out there. That's that defense showing up, even if it's not a double play. Now we have Blue Dry Bones. He hits this one through the infield, and that'll make a base hit for him. As we have Gray Dry Bones up to bat, one of those star players for the Fury, or top players. Wrong term, my bad. He'll hit a ball over into right field, but it gets down for another base hit. They are slapping through the lineup right now. They have bases loaded with just 1 out for Paragoomba. The Lightning are really looking for a double play here. And to try and help out their star pitching from Diddy Kong, they'll get the out at home. They don't get another one, but at least they prevent the run. Nothing scored so far. 2-out situation for Goomba. Another star pitch. And that's a pop fly, but there's a Piranha Plant right there. And that'll get a run down. That'll get 2 runs down, in fact. The Fury have scored 2 here in this first inning. That's a great start for them offensively. They are showing that you can slap hit even on a small field. Two runners on base. This could be an opportunity for Daisy to star hit, driving some runs like Peach did in the first inning of last game. She whiffs at those first 2. This one gets by, and gets by Yellow Pianta, scoring another run for the Fury. 3-0 lead. And now up is Baby Mario, the worst batting average in the entire league. And he'll star hit into an easy out from DK there. And that stops their rally, but 3 is a good number to get for the Fury. They'll have to try and fend off the Lightning's double Toad into PD Piranha. And Yellow Toad makes it on base with a good slap hit. Oh, I didn't change the handedness of my Piantas. I think those were the only handednesses I needed to change. Do I trust my right-handed Piantas? I think I trust my right-handed Piantas. I'd feel bad resetting a great start from the Fury. Especially because my team has a chance to tie it up right here if PD decides to hit this one. Takes 2 strikes. He'll star hit, not a home run. Oh, but the Piranha Plant eats it. And that's a triple play to end the inning. What an unfortunate happenstance for the Lightning, as they sit down 3-0 against the Fury. Wow, yeah. Stadium hazards. Not helping the home team. What are we doing? You guys are supposed to work for me. Come on, Piranha Plants. Yellow Shy Guy hits into the out. Not quite the double play, though. Now we have Green Shy Guy. These Shy Guys have been... or not Shy Guy, Green Dry Bones. The Dry Bones have been very consistent batters so far. Hitting all around 500 to 600. Ooh, not quite getting the out at second. Nor at first. Got greedy there, Yellow Pianta did, and instead... the Lightning now have 2 runners on base from their opponents. That's a hit to the outfield that Mario should grab, and he does. So now a 2-out situation, a force everywhere but home. With Gray Dry Bones up at the bat. He watches that changeup go by for strike 1. Fastball gets star hit, but they'll make the play. And that's a 0 spot for the Fury. Lightning now trying to catch up. They have Donkey Kong to lead off for them. He's got a good eye, watches that ball go by. Swing and a miss there. Started charging a little bit early. Good contact, but not enough power. And that's a pop fly to Baby Mario. Now we have starred Yellow Pianta. Charges a little too early. Watches that ball go by. 1-1 count. Watches that strike curve to the outside. 2 strikes now. And that's a strikeout. That one caught the corner of the plate. I'm with you, UIP. That was a rough call. Red Pianta slaps this one through. And he gets on base. That brings up Mario. Mario no longer the captain for this team, so he's not able to use a star hit here. Not that it would drive a run in, so probably best not to. Instead, he'll pop out to the outfield, and that's another 0 spot for the Lightning. They're still down 3-0 against the Fury. Paragoomba up to bat, will pop fly to right field. That's an easy out. Next up is regular Goomba. This one is without the wings. He's got a 1-1 count with 1 out. And that's a shot to DK. He bobbles it but gets the bounce. And that's still an out for the Lightning. That brings up Daisy. 2 outs, no one on base. No reason for her to use a star hit here. She'll charge but not swing. And that's strike 2. Diddy Kong hits her with a changeup. She pops it up to center field. And Green Toad gets the out. Another 0 spot. It's been 2 full silent innings. Can the Lightning start something here? In the bottom of the 3rd, Blue Magic Koopa leads off. Hits that first pitch foul. Second one to Gray Bones. He bobbles it, but Goomba gets there to make the play. Now we have Diddy Kong. He'll make a charge slap through the right side of the field. He gets on base for a single. Yellow Toad slaps this one just over the infield. That'll be 2 runners on base for Green Toad. Danger of a double play here now for the Lightning. They've got to be careful on offense. And that's a crazy strike call. That one caught the corner a little more clearly. And Green Toad will star hit this one. It gets through the infield. That's bases loaded. Diddy Kong is going home. And he makes it. That's a run on the board for the Lightning. 3-1. And with that, the Lightning are now only down by 2. And Petey can put them ahead if he sends this one home. Save us, Petey. You're my only hope, Petey Piranha. He'll star slap this one over to the left. But Baby Luigi gets there. And it's a pop fly. 2 runners on for DK now. He's going to star hit this one. And that one curves to the deep outfield. That's going to bring in at least a run. And it does. A 1-run game now. 3-2. Fury still lead. The amount of stars that the Lightning are using here just to score a couple runs to catch up might give the Fury a star advantage later in the game to continue to stretch their lead. Or starred Yellow Pianta could clobber this one. At least I'm hoping. He watches the first pitch go by, swings way too early at the second. And the third pitch, he looks at again. The Piantas, they hate swinging their bats. God, very frustrating to watch these players. Maybe left-handed Piantas was what I needed. We'll never know. Oh, good defensive jump there for Pianta. Gets that first out on what would have been a foul ball. Good eye from Baby Luigi. Watches that first narrow ball go by. But he hits the second one straight up to the left fielder. And that's 2 outs on the inning. Fury looking like they're going to get another 0 spot. Had a good first inning, but just haven't been able to produce any more runs after that. 2-1 count on Shy Guy. And he slaps straight to DK. That ends the inning. 3-2. The Lightning have now taken the lead on hits as well. Although they're still behind in runs. Red Pianta hits this one deep. It's not going to be out, but it's to the wall. And that'll be a safe single. Now we've got Mario. He's laying down a bunt. Interesting decision. Oh, they go for the double play and they don't get it. Bad decision by Goomba, giving up the free out. And instead they get nothing. Great situation for the Lightning. And Magic Koopa is up at the plate with 2 runners on and no outs. Looks at the second strike go by. And swings at that third one. That's a strikeout. Now Diddy Kong up at bat. Takes 2 quick strikes. He could go for a star hit here. Or just a casual slap. He will star hit it. That one curves just on the fair ball line. That's going to score a run. They're going for 2. Mario. Oh, bad call. He gets thrown out, going home. But regardless, 1 run scored, so it is now a tie game. 3-3. Yellow Toad now. We are in Toad Town. Yellow Toad slaps this one down. Gets Diddy Kong to third. In fact, Diddy goes home and gets a lead for the Lightning. 4-3 ball game. The Lightning are squeezing out runs here with risky play calls. Some working, some not. But they have taken a lead now. So it seems that in the long run it has worked out for him. Green Toad clobbers this one, not quite out, but it's back to the wall. That'll be a double, and they're sending Yellow Toad home. They're still playing offensive. And they get it. Aggressive plays seem to be the way to go against this team. The Lightning demonstrating that very well. Now they have PD Piranha, 2 outs, 1 runner on base. PD, get 1 RBI so that you keep your lead. He slaps this one up the middle. Green Toad is going for it. And he makes it. In fact, PD's going to run to second. That was a good body check from Toad. You don't see that too often. Toad has to be in the same weight class as the character that he's body checking, which is a very small portion of the roster. But fortunately for the Lightning, Dry Bones is one of them. And now that brings up DK with chemistry. Whiffs on a star pitch from Daisy. Waits on that strike 2. And now gives Daisy the opportunity to star pitch. No. DK will slap this one. It's over to left, and it's caught out for a pop fly. But the Lightning now have a 3-run lead themselves, completely flipping it from the initial first inning. Sorry, I dropped something. That was not good. The Piranha Plant bumping that ball as a runner makes it on base for the Fury. A second run gets on base for them. They have 2 now with just 1 out. And Paragoomba up to the bat. They do not want to get a double play here. That would end the inning and stop the scoring attempts that they've made. A pop fly isn't much better, because now that means any out here from Goomba will end the inning. An out from Goomba, it's more likely than you think. As he whiffs a star swing there, but he gets down there. Gets a safe hit. And even with chemistry, that's not quick enough. The Fury score another one. An RBI from Goomba. They've brought this down to a 2-run game. This is a much closer game than I would have thought initially. They have Daisy up to the plate now. She could try to go for a star swing to bring some runs in. No. She's going to hit into an easy play with a bad slap. That stops the Fury's momentum at just 1 run and brings up the Lightning's star player again, Yellow Pianta. Not one of the top players, unfortunately. A bump by that Piranha Plant almost ends in an out, but Blue Dry Bones is a little too slow. Now Red Pianta has chemistry on base. That'll make up for the lack of star a little bit. He's got a 2-1 count. Charges on that, hits it. It's not quite gone, but it is very deep. And hits against the back wall. That's runners on the corners. For none other than Mario. Mario. Very patient at the plate so far. He lets the first 3 go by. 2 of them are strikes. Good eye on that. That was an inside ball. And a good shot there will bring home Yellow Pianta, extending the Lightning's lead back to 3. The Lightning have some decent slap hitters, even though their main focus is on defense and offense. Or power, I suppose. They have 4 power hitters, most of them great defensive players, with power potential as well. Like DK has surprisingly low power compared to the rest of the cast. And the Piantas as well, they have the same power as Toads, but I feel like that's more of a surprise of how high the Toads have than the Piantas having low power. And Blue Magic Koopa scores another run there on a double hit down the foul line. That drives in Red Pianta. Now there's Diddy Kong, but not Dixie. Daisy uses a star pitch. Diddy whiffs that swing. And he misses on that one too. That's a strikeout earned by Daisy. She's got several this game so far. Good contact there from Yellow Toad, and that's a Yellow Toad home run. 3 more runs will score for the Lightning. Off a Toad homer. That's the first homer we've had this game, seriously. Not Yellow Pianta. Starred Pianta. Not DK, not Petey. Yellow Toad. I'll take what I can get. Shouldn't complain. I believe with that home run from Yellow Toad, every single Toad... No. I was going to say every Toad has a home run. Blue Toad does not. Purple Toad has 2. Blue Toad does not have 1. Both players are on the flock, and I knew there were 2 Toad homers. I figured it was 1 apiece. But no. Blue Toad is still home runless. While both Green and Yellow Toad have 1 home run apiece, and Red Toad had 3 coming into this game, and now he has 4. An unfortunate Petey strikeout there, but now there's DK up to bat. DK takes 2 balls and then a strike. Strike 2. That was a well-placed fastball to the outside. Swing and a miss on that last one. And that ends the inning. 5-run score for the Lightning, though. Not much to complain about. That extends their lead to 7 runs, where the Fury have just 2 more chances to make that up. 2 quick strikes on Baby Mario. That one does not cross the plate. That one does, and it's hit to the gap of the outfield. Baby Mario will get on base. He'll in fact get to second. That brings up Baby Luigi. Star pitch from Diddy Kong will get strike number 2. The last pitch, not quite over the plate. That one's a bit outside, trying to get him chasing. Didn't work. Baby Luigi knows ball. Oh, but he misses on that one. And that's a strikeout for Diddy Kong. Yellow Shy Guy hits good contact with that, but it is caught out by Mario. That's 2 on the inning now. Still down by 7. That's an easy shot to Yellow Pianta. The Fury have a lot of ground to make up. Now the Lightning, starred Yellow Pianta leading off again. Means DK has ended several of these innings. That is a little disappointing for him being one of our top players. Another strikeout from Yellow Pianta. He has really been underperforming, especially considering he's our starred player. I mean, even for a starred Pianta, I mean, you look at the flock, Blue Pianta's one of the leading RBI hitters in the league. And we're just not getting that output from our Yellow Pianta, which is very disappointing. But a quick out there from Red Pianta. And there's now 2 outs, no runners on for the Lightning. Mario up to bat, he takes 2 quick strikes. Slaps that one foul. Stays alive. Watches the ball go by. Good eye for Mario. An outside ball. Daisy wanted to get him chasing. And back to the inside ball. Now it's a full count. Full count, 2 outs. And Mario gets a walk. That is the second walk of this league. The first one on King Boo in the last game. Now, Blue Magic Koopa hits into an easy out. They do not take advantage of that walk, but I suppose that's why Daisy felt comfortable doing it. Hoping she'd catch Mario chasing, yada yada. DK gets a good out. Simple play, thrown out at first. Now, same thing happens again with the next Dry Bones. And now it's to Paragoomba. The final chance for the Fury. No more mistakes. They need 7 runs here to tie the game. 8 to take the lead. 2 strikes. And it's not looking good for them. And that's a strikeout that ends the game. The Lightning come away with this one with a 7-run win, 11-4. A good start to this game for the Fury, especially on defense, but they really fell apart in the latter half of this game. Couldn't continue that momentum they had. They led 3-0 for about 3 innings of this one. As the Lightning's MVP is Yellow Toad. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Continue without saving. Oh, thank you so much to Green 49er of the Tax Evaders for helping me change that and fix that so the game doesn't instantly crash whenever it tries to save. Still no home runs for the Fury. They have been home runless on this entire season through these first 4 games. Despite being on a smaller stadium, I know the Dry Bones, the Shy Guys even Daisy has some home run potential, but they just haven't been able to get those lucky hits. And only 4 runs scored total, most of them in the first inning, from Goomba, clearing the bases there. On defense, they did fairly well. Daisy got 7 strikeouts, 16.5 ERA. The ERA is a little bit rough, but not much you can do about home runs. Meanwhile, the Lightning, Diddy Kong got only 2 strikeouts, but a 5.14 ERA certainly makes up for it. On offense, they had just 1 homer, and it was the Yellow Toad home run. He racked up 4 RBI, going 4 for 4 in this game. Green Toad also went 4 for 4. Ugh, that's tough to say. Then PD and DK each got a RBI. Most players got an RBI. Just the Piantas have been slacking. I'll have to whip them into shape later. I'll put them on whatever training regimen the flock is using, because damn, theirs is working out well. Help my Piantas, dude. They should not be underperforming this hard. No crash, yes. Thank you so much. As the Lightning improve to 4-0 and the Fury fall to 0-4. We have seen none of the streaks break so far. Let's see if the first one is the Rocketeers and the Flock. I almost just closed the game instinctively. But now, it's time for Game 3. Final set of sidebars that I worked on. And this one is hosted by the Flock, which their captain is Birdo. And their home stadium is Bowser Castle. Yes. That is a good idea. I should put the stadiums in my roster list. Anyway, for now, it's fine. The Flock with Birdo, whereas the Rocketeers use Yoshi. Very similar captains here. The Flock have 2 Shy Guys, blue and green Shy Guy. They have 2 Toads, with blue and purple Toad. They have blue Pianta as well, who's been performing very well for them. On offense, Boo, who's been a phenomenal pitcher. Luigi, who's been a sneaky top-tier player. As you see over on that right side, those are their 3 top players. Blue Pianta with 11 RBI with 3 homers. One of the top players in terms of both of those stats. Luigi hitting for .615 average with 9 RBI himself. Also a top-tier player, easily in the top 10. And Boo has been a phenomenal pitcher with a 9.0 ERA, which is solid, and 20 strikeouts, leading the league in strikeouts, ignoring the fact that the tax evaders have played an extra game. Peach is currently leading, but Boo certainly has a chance to take that spot back once they get even. Meanwhile, for the Rocketeers... Oh, I didn't put the last player in. It's Green Noki. Meanwhile, for the Rocketeers, their top players have been Firebro on offense, scoring 11 RBI with 5 home runs. Another consistent player for them, Sneaky, very much like Luigi, batting .615 as well, same as Luigi, but only with 6 RBI, but that's still solid because it's Red Shy Guy, who is considered a much worse player all around. So he is performing well above his pay grade. Yoshi has been a phenomenal defensive player with 1.5 double plays turned, and performing solidly on offense as well with a 500 batting average. Anyway, let me get these positions done for the flock. They've got Blue Toad in left. Yes, yes. Luigi on third. Green Shy Guy, yes, this is perfect. And now for the Rocketeers. Again, they have changed up their lineups quite a bit. Changed who is where and who's doing what. And they hope to have a much more effective team distribution of their players. There was some perhaps not wasted potential, but miscalculated. Much like that Shy Guy selection. And they have a Noki, and Toadsworth and Dixie. Alright, their outfield now features Yoshi swapping from the infield spot to the outfield. So he's likely not going to get any more double plays. If he does, that'd be incredible. But he's mostly going to be locking down that outfield that was a bit of a problem for them in the last couple games. Dixie, solid pitcher. With Firebro, of course, their star player. Toadsworth's a consistent hitter. The rest of their team, looking pretty solid. And now I believe it is time for us to do batting orders. Let me scroll back to the flock. They lead off with Double Shy Guy. Double Shy Guy into starred Blue Pianta. Birdo right behind. Oh, Birdo then Boo. My mistake. I actually made that mistake last game. Fortunately, the flock still won, even with my mistake on their lineup. I apologize for that. I would have felt very bad if they ended up losing that game. But yes, that is their lineup. And now for the Rocketeers. They've switched some stuff around. I see they've split up the only chemistry link they have on this team. But I suppose if Red Koopa's batting that much worse, maybe. Might be better. We'll see. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a doctor. I'm simply a goober that likes Mario Baseball. Please charge back Firebro so I don't crash out again. Yeah, Firebro has been slacking. He likes to just slap hit the ball, which is not good, because he has the weakest slapping stat in the entire game. It is abysmally low. I think it's like 15, whereas like even Monty Mole has like 30. So very disappointing for Firebro. He's not a good slap hitter at all. He needs to charge if he wants to get stuff done, especially on Bowser Castle, where it will be very difficult for these teams to hit homers. I'm excited to see how this game goes for both of them. And now it's time we begin the final game of the night. we have the Rocketeers and the Flock. The first game of week 2. Last game of the day. Flock are currently 3-0 after sweeping the Stars. The Rocketeers 0-3 after getting swept by the Lightning. Rocketeers hope to turn that around with an all-new lineup and defensive positions. They'll have to go against a very difficult pitcher in a hard-to-hit-in stadium. But Yoshi gets a good slap down there to lead off for the Rocketeers, and will make it on base. As we are lagging a little bit, I assume from all the fire particles and stuff on this stadium. Green Para will hit into not a double play. Gets the lead runner out, but he runs out that ball. Now we have Fire Bro. Charges, but that one's a ball. Another ball. He's done a good job of charging. That was an inside ball. Great eye from Fire Bro. Makes contact there. That's hit to the wall. Bounces off the thwomp, of course. You could never have a home run on this stadium. That would be oh too easy. But that's the runners on the corners, and just one out for Red Shy Guy. This is a phenomenal place where you want to hit a pop fly. Oh! But he runs out the ball to first, escapes the double play, and they do manage to score that one run. Still a good play for the Rocketeers. And they will hit past Birdo's suction catch. Strange decision to not use that. Now there's 2 runners on base. For none other than Blue Noki, who hits it just past Pianta, and that loads the bases. Watch out, it's Red Koopa Troopa. No one's ever said that before. But he could do something here. You never know. A boost or pitch. And it's down for strike 1. Hit 2. Red Koopa pops it up with a star hit, and that is caught for the out. That ends the inning, but they do score a run. This is going to be a very low-scoring game. Without the home run potential, these teams are going to struggle to manufacture their runs. As we have the Shy Guys that lead off for the Flock. That one goes just foul. Barely misses the foul pole. Still 2 strikes, and he hits it straight to Yellow Magic Koopa. That's the first out of the inning. Now Blue Shy Guy. Misses that swing. Makes contact there, but it is foul. Doesn't hit the star plate. Good slap there. No, it's caught by Red Shy Guy. Thought it was going to get over his head, but it did not. Now we have Blue Pianta, one of the top players for the Flock, and their star choice. He hits this one very high. That might be gone. No. Still not over the thwomps. See, this stadium is very hard to hit out of. That ball was absolutely clobbered, and it still didn't make it over the thwomps. You have to get a very precise shot in between the thwomps, or have curved trajectory so that the wrong thwomp trigger. So by the time your ball goes under the thwomp, it's curved over to the next one. And they react too slowly to block. But Dixie Kong gets a good strikeout there to end the inning. 0 score for the Flock. The Rocketeers have a 1-0 lead. Another potential way to get a home run here is to hit to the very, very corners over by the foul poles, which there's like slightly lower. There's like a little bit of a dip down. Not as much as like where the thwomps go. It's just that small wall right beside the thwomp, between that and the foul pole, is another easier place to hit home runs. Still a relatively high wall, even compared to most other stadiums. But that's an unfortunate slap out there from Dixie. Now we have Toadsworth. For some reason, he's at the 9 hole, but that's okay. He's the second leadoff. That's what they say in baseball. If you don't have a bad player to put in your 9 spot. But he does get a bad hit there. And that will be thrown out at first. There's 2 outs. No one on base for Yoshi as he swings and misses at strike 1. Makes contact there, and that gets down for a base hit. He's on base. Still 2 outs on the inning. So Green Parrot will have to make some good work happen here. Gets that one over Luigi's head. And Yoshi makes it all the way to third. Runners on the corners now. For none other than Starred Fire Bro. Please, a charge hit sent to the wall. That would bring in a run for sure. He looks at that one, doesn't charge. That's not a good sign. Charges here. Slaps this one, but it's not quite to the wall. Green Noki gets there. Good attempt, but bad placement on the timing. And that'll end a scoreless inning for the Rocketeers. The Flock, with a chance to tie up the game or potentially take a lead. Boo will hit a pop fly, and Yoshi is able to get under it. Ball 1 on Luigi. He slaps it straight to Red Shy Guy. That's an easy out, thrown to first. Green Noki up now for the Flock. That's a very slow outside pitch. For ball number 1. Fastball across the center, gets strike 2. And a good slap from Green Noki gets down for a base hit. In fact, she's going for 2, and she will make it. Now that brings up the Toads. Blue Toad into Purple Toad. This Blue Toad, the only Toad to not have a home run. I don't expect it to happen here in this series, but he will get an RBI off of it, and that ties the game. With a big double hit from him. Purple Toad will be up next, hoping to take the lead with a similar kind of hit. Rocketeers, a 2-out situation. Giving up a run is not good, giving up 2 is worse. But it looks like they will, as that is hit all the way back to the wall. And now it's 2-1 lead for the Flocks. Or the Flock. There's no S there. Flock is already plural. Purple Toad only gets the first off of that one. It's not quite the same hit that Blue Toad had. But good enough to drive the run in is good enough for the Flock. And they get another base hit there from Green Shy Guy. That leads into Blue Shy Guy. Now the Rocketeers have a force out at every base. They have a lot of potential here. Dixie's going for the strikeout. She's got 2 so far. And a good fastball there throws off the timing. And that's a strikeout for Dixie Kong. They stop the inning at 2 and look to take that lead back now for themselves. They'll lead off with a Red Shy Guy. He's got a 1-1 count so far. Looking for the right pitch. Doesn't see it there. 2 strikes. That ball is hit high, but it's over to right field and easily gettable for Green Noki. She doesn't even have to run to it. And now we have Yellow Magic Koopa, who slaps this one over to the left side. That'll be an easy single for him. Now, Blue Noki up to bat. She gets good contact, but bad angle there, and that is not a home run. Taking a couple more pitches there. 3 balls in a row. And is Boo gonna walk her? No, she gets a good slap down into the right field. And that'll put runners on corners for the Rocketeers. Still just 1 out. This would be a great time for a sacrifice fly. Can Red Koopa manage it here? He'll star hit over to right field. It's caught. And they make the run. That's a 2-2 tie ball game. Now Dixie's up to the plate. One runner on base, 2 outs. She slaps up the middle. Birdo can't quite grab it. And that'll be a base hit. Now we have Toadsworth looking to redeem himself for his first at-bat. Takes strike 1. Good star hit there. That is a missile over to the right corner. That'll bring a run in. And that puts the Rocketeers up now. 3-2. Very back and forth game so far. 1-run lead traded for a 1-run lead. Traded back for a 1-run lead. Rocketeers hope to get more than that though here with Yoshi, who has an opportunity to go for a star hit to try and bring some players in. Would certainly get Dixie if it was a good contact on that star hit. He misses that one there, just a regular swing. So he might not want to star this one. No, he'll just do a regular slap, but it does get down to bring a run home. The Rocketeers now have a 4-2 lead. This is big for them, but remember the Flock do still have the bottom of this inning. This is just the start. So we'll have to see how things look for the Rocketeers after this whole inning is over. See if they've actually taken the lead. As the inning ends there from Green Paracupa. Heading into a pop fly. Now the Flock, they start with Blue Pianta. He slaps over to left field. Yoshi's easily able to grab it with a tongue catch. Now we have Birdo with no one on base and 1 out. She's got 1-1. Slaps this one just over Shy Guy's head. Yoshi bobbles it, but doesn't give up any extra bases. So not a big deal. Now we have Boo, the pitcher for the Flock. Also one of their more consistent batters. Batting over 600 himself. Both players make it to the next base safely. That was a good slap from Boo. Now we have Luigi. Luigi looking to continue his streak of getting a lot of base hits. Perhaps maybe some more RBI for that leaderboard. That's a good star hit. That'll bound off of Green Paratroopa, and that's a ground rule double for him. That'll bring in 1 run and put Boo on third, himself on second. Interesting, interesting. I don't think I've seen that happen with a ball bouncing into the lava pit before. Star pitch from Dixie goes for strike 1. Green Noki will see another star pitch as Dixie wants to get out of this inning. So throw a fastball for the last one, but it goes foul. So close to getting down. And Blue Noki makes the play for the second out of the inning. Still 1 more to go. The Flock have closed the gap back to 1 run. A good Toad charge hit here into the gap could certainly put them in the lead again. Instead, he'll star hit up the middle to tie the game. And Luigi is actually going for the lead, and he'll get it. 5-4, the Flock are back up. Just as I said, don't count the Rocketeers in the lead too early. As the Flock have the advantage, they have the second chance to score. And they come out on top in this inning by at least 1 run. They can still make another couple hits here. Purple Toad watches that strike go by. Charge there does not help. And that's a slap from Purple Toad. Caught by Red Koopa. 3 runs apiece means the Flock still come out up 1 run. Fire Bro now for the Rocketeers. Great contact on that swing. Will it be high enough? Yes, it is! That is a home run on Bowser Castle. Incredible. Fire Bro with enough power there to knock it out of the park. Even with the thwomps. I think that one might have gotten under the thwomps before they came down. Guess it was moving too fast. Either way, however it happened, the Rocketeers now sit at a tie game. Red Shy Guy hits into an easy out there, though. Yellow Magic Koopa almost gets out. Blue Pianta can't quite get there. So he will get on base. Now Blue Noki's up. Runner on first, only one out. Hits it just past Blue Pianta again. And that's two on base. Two on base for Red Koopa Paratroopa. Not the Paratroopa. This is regular Koopa. Koopa Paratroopa was moved to the front of the lineup. He's no longer back here with regular Koopa. But Red Koopa gets a good slap down, and that will load the bases for Dixie Kong. As the Rocketeers traded away Diddy, they do not have the option to go for a Captain Star hit here. And Dixie's Star hit is not going to do anything for them on offense. Instead, she'll have to slap it down and hope for not a double play. And she runs it out. One out happens, but one run scores, and that is much better for the Rocketeers. Now Toadsworth up to bat. Two runners on base. His Star hit would certainly be helpful. Two strikes, and instead he'll hit straight to Blue Pianta. That ends the inning, but two runs for the Rocketeers. Nothing to complain about. They're back up, but the Flock have the chance to swing it back in their favor. A good slap from Green Shy Guy, but it's too far into the outfield, and Yoshi's able to grab it. Blue Shy Guy here now. He's charging, makes good contact. It's high, should be off the thwomp, and it's a good double for him. That one was close, though. That almost got into the gap. Now it's Blue Pianta. Watches that ball go by. Charging here, and whiffs that swing. And a strikeout on Blue Pianta. That's the Pianta I know. Star pitch from Dixie. Umberto doesn't want to swing at it. Another star pitch from Dixie, but it's going for a ball. Now Berto slaps this one deep to right field. Hits off the wall and scores. Their Green Shy Guy. And that's a tie ball game, 6 apiece. Flock now looking to take the lead, while they still have the chance with a runner on base. But they do have 2 outs, so one misplay from here could stop their offensive rally. The Rocketeers are really hoping to end this one here. This would be a good inning overall for them. Boo has 2 strikes, but on the third, I guess not third, because he had a couple balls as well. On that next pitch, he'll hit it one through the infield. That's 2 on base for Luigi now. Misses on a star swing there. Not what you want to see if you're the Flock. And he strikes out. That ends the inning, giving Dixie Kong one more strikeout on the season. She's been one of the higher strikeout pitchers in the league, sitting at 12 coming into this game, tied with Daisy for 3rd place. However, still behind Boo with his 20 and Peach with her 17. Foul ball from Yoshi there, who's the lead-off hitter for the Rocketeers. Starting back at the top of their lineup in this top of the 5th. Slap there over to left side, and it's not quite out of reach of Blue Toad. So that'll go for the first out of the inning. Now Green Paratroopa slaps that one up the middle. Makes it on base safely. He has been one of the sneaky, highest performing players on this team, but only in terms of batting average. He has a very high batting average of, I believe, almost 700. Let me check what it is. Yeah, he's batting .692, which is phenomenal, especially for just a slap hitter. However, he has no RBIs, no home runs. He doesn't have anything to show for it. That was probably because of the spot he was at in the lineup, which is why the Rocketeers decided to move him up. An unfortunate lava hit on Yoshi there means Green Noki is able to take an extra base off of that hit. And Blue Toad up to bat now. Hits this one high, but Toadsworth should get there. That's an out. Now they have Purple Toad up to bat. Swing and a miss there. Strike one. Watches that one go by for strike two. And a star pitch from Dixie goes for a ball. Good eye there from Purple Toad. But bad eye there as he mistimes his swing and strikes out. Green Shy Guy now. Watches that first ball. Takes a second ball. A third ball, 3 in a row. Is Dixie gonna walk him? Yes, she does. She's got the open base, I suppose, and it makes for a force out on second base, which is still against a Shy Guy. So not a terrible decision. But a Blue Shy Guy slap up the middle. Gets down for a hit and a run. The flock is now up 7-6. And now that brings up starred Blue Pianta, who, if any player on this team can hit a home run, it would have to be Blue Pianta. Uh-oh. Still just the 5th inning. It is a 1-run lead. Not the funniest score. No! Strikeout from Blue Pianta ends the inning, though. That is a good save for the Rocketeers and bad for the Flock, but the Flock's already still up. So they do still come out of this on top. Now the Rocketeers look to flip the score, taking a lead for themselves. And yes, I know funny score, I'm just not acknowledging it. Because if I don't say anything, then hopefully other people won't. But now you've made me acknowledge it. And to curse you for your speaking of the bit. Yellow Magic Koopa gets out, and so will Blue Noki? No. Birdo struggles with that ball, isn't able to bring it into her glove quickly, and lets Blue Noki get on base. Good slap from Red Koopa gets down, and that's 2 runners on base with just 1 out. Tempted to duck draft picks for that joke. It's true. This is what we do. It's a joke. We don't actually do that. A hit from Dixie advances Blue Noki to 3rd, but gets a runner out on 2nd, so Toadsworth will need a good slap here, and he gets it. That's a tie ball game, 7 apiece. Still runners on the corners, and still 2 outs. The Rocketeers have a chance with Yoshi, their captain, to take the lead here in the 6th inning. A high shot there, but it is to center field, straight to Purple Toad. He makes the out. And now the Rocketeers have just 1 more chance to take the lead. They'll have to first defend the Flock's attempt. The Flock's penultimate attempt. They still have 1 more after this inning. And Birdo hits a good ball there, based exclusively on that bounce. Otherwise, that would have been a routine ground ball play. Boo hits a good curveball just on the fair line. And that is runners on the corners with no outs. Exactly what the flock wanted to see here. And now they have Luigi with enough stars to use a star swing. Instead, he'll charge it. And that brings a run in. That takes the lead for them. This game has been very close, back and forth the whole time. And yet again, it swings in the flock's favor. But now we're nearing the end of the ball game. They're hoping to extend their lead even further, making it difficult for the Rocketeers to even tie the game up with their last chance. They have no outs, 2 runners on base. Green Noki has 2 strikes. That was a very close ball. Good eye there from Green Noki. A slap there, but it is caught out by the right fielder. And now with 1 out, still 2 runners on base, Blue Toad takes a quick strike 1 there. And a strike 2 as well. Looks at both of them. No swinging so far. That one was a way inside ball. Should not swing at that one. And that clips the plate. That's a strikeout for Dixie Kong. 2 outs on the inning now. A force everywhere. Purple Toad has to be very careful if they want to continue this offensive shot. That's a shot deep to the gap of the outfield. That'll bring in 1, probably 2 runners. Luigi's going for it, and he makes it. 10-7, the flock are up by 3. That is the biggest lead we've seen all game. Rocketeers were temporarily up by 2, only for the flock to swing it back in their favor in that same inning. But this time, the flock leave the Rocketeers with just 1 chance, 1 more inning to score 3 runs to tie the game, 4 if they want the lead. And they're not even done on this inning. Green Shy Guy hits a great foul line slap. That might bring in another runner. No, it won't. That will end the inning as Purple Toad gets greedy. But that brings up the Rocketeers' last chance. They need 3 runs here to tie the game, bring it to the bottom of the inning, where they have to defend the flock to bring it to extras. Or 4 runs in perfect defense would end the game right there with a win for the Rocketeers. But it all starts here with Green Paracupa, and he gets thrown out at first. 1 out, no one on base for Fire Bro, who slaps it over to left, but it goes foul. He'll slap this one. It gets down in left field. He's on base. Still think a charge swing would have been better, but I suppose he doesn't want to risk the pop fly. Shy Guy does not feel the same way. He slaps it straight, or charge hits it straight to Blue Pianta. 2 outs on the inning. It's not looking good for the Rocketeers. They will need a miracle here with the Yellow Magic Koopa up to bat. That's a slap hit down the foul line. That's a great shot by her. That puts runners on 2nd and 3rd. Bit of an anti-chem there from Luigi to Boo. Now Blue Noki is here. Takes the first strike of the at-bat. Second one gets slapped over to the right side. Looks like it's down to the wall. And that'll score 2. It's 9-10, a 1-run game. The Rocketeers are almost back in this. They need 1 more to guarantee the bottom of the inning. But they do have a runner all the way on 2nd. So all they need is Red Koopa to hit this into an outfield gap, or just lay down a classic slap hit. Get himself on base. That's a slap hit to the outfield, and it gets down. Blue Noki goes for it, and that ties the game. It's 10-10. Rocketeers will have a bottom of this inning. They will live to see the next section. But will they be able to come into it with a lead is the question now. They have 1 runner on base. Dixie Kong up to bat now. This is their highest risk player. She has a rough batting average, but she gets a slap down there. And that's 2 runners on base for Toadsworth. Toadsworth, a big slap hit here. And it gets past Blue Pianta. That loads the bases. for Captain Yoshi. Yoshi looking to drive someone home here. Take the lead for the Rocketeers in the 7th inning. A great slap there. That's going to bring in a 1. They think about going for 2, but Dixie sees that laser beam and immediately backs off. Good call from her. Bases are still loaded. This has been an insane 2-out rally for the Rocketeers. They needed a miracle, and they've got it so far. All they need is another good slap hit from Koopa Paratroopa. They're up by 2. 5 runs on the inning. And they're looking to knock the Flock off as an undefeated team. A big hit from Firebro there. That one could be gone. It is. The Thwomps don't even trigger. That is a grand slam. Bases clearing for Firebro. The Rocketeers now up by 6 runs. It is 16-10 here. They were down by 3. They needed 3 to bring this to the bottom of the inning, and they have done more than survive here. Up by 6. This could be an insane finish for the Rocketeers. What a way to take the lead. They still need to close it out on defense. They can't get lazy now. The Flock have scored more than that in an inning before, so the Rocketeers do still need to be careful. Good slap hit, but it is too high. And that's out. In the rivalry series, it's true. This is a rivalry matchup. This is the only one that we have this week. The other rivalries are the Tax Raiders and the Lightning, and the Stars and the Fury. This matchup will be repeated along with the other rivalry games at the very end of the season, the very final week. We'll see a rematch between these teams, as the Flock get their offense started with a base hit. This is also the first in-conference game of the season. Tax Evaders in the same conference as the Rocketeers and Flock. Oh no, it's not. The Fury and Lightning was also a conference game. So we have 2 conference games this week. Meanwhile, the Stars are also in the same conference with the Fury and Lightning. Two runners on base for the Flock, still no outs. If they want to make this comeback here, this is a good start for them. Birdo swings and misses there. Neither of these teams have any more stars to work with. They've used them all getting here. This is where the batters come in clutch. They have to use their own stats, their own skills to win this game. Birdo with a rough slap there, but it'll go down for a sac fly, scoring a runner. It's the most productive way to get an out, I suppose. As Boo is up to plate now. Runner on base, 1 out. The Flock would hate to lose this game. That was so back and forth. A slap hit gets over Red Shy Guy's head and hits a star pad. That will give the Flock a star to work with Luigi coming up to the plate next. Good contact there, but it's not far enough. Yoshi gets it, but Yoshi bobbles and then makes the play on the bobble. Still secures the out there. Good grab by Yoshi. 2 outs now. The Rocketeers, 1 more, will finish this comeback for them. A slap, and it's to Magic Koopa. That's the game. Rocketeers win it. They are no longer winless, and the Flock are no longer undefeated. Rocketeers get their first win of the season here in a back-and-forth battle that ends with an insane comeback. Yoshi is given the MVP. What an incredible game. Yoshi managing 2 RBI. Wait a second. Firebro with 2 home runs and 5 RBI. One of his home runs was a grand slam, by the way. Why did Firebro not get MVP? I guess Yoshi had better defense. They counted the defense in, which I'm surprised because I don't have the defense anywhere on these stats. Like, even for big plays, only Blue Noki has a big play. Dixie, notching 7 strikeouts, though, is great for her. 14 ERA is a little unfortunate. Blue Noki had a phenomenal game as well, going 5 for 5 with 2 RBI, and had a defensive big play. Great performances from everyone except for Red Shy Guy, who had an RBI. He got 1 sac fly, but no other hits. Is unfortunate for them. The Flock had a very solid game themselves. Some RBI from their Toads, 3 apiece. 2 from Luigi, 2 from Birdo, and 1 from Blue Shy Guy. Blue Pianta just wasn't quite getting those big hits, which is mostly a fault of the stadium, not exactly of the player himself. And Boo got no strikeouts. This was a terrible game for Boo. Hopefully, in later games in this series, Boo will be able to catch up his performance. He was the strikeout leader coming into this game, and getting 0, that's going to put him behind definitely Peach, maybe even Dixie, maybe a couple other players as well. We'll have to see. We'll keep track of this. But their offense was not terrible, the Flock. No players that really let the team down, everyone going at least 400. But they just couldn't keep up with that last inning from the Rocketeers, scoring 9 runs to take the lead and win it all. What a phenomenal game. It's the least Rocketeers thing the Rocketeers have ever done. You know, you guys are the Rockets. Maybe it just takes a while for you to take off. That was corny as hell. Game tying run, that also could have done it. That is possible. Game tying, yeah, I do think they put a lot of weight on the game tying and game leading runs, which Yoshi had several of throughout this game. So I could definitely see that. But yes, what a phenomenal game for the Rocketeers. The first game that did not get won by the Flock, Lightning, or Tax Evaders here in Game 4 of the season. What a night. What a game. Congratulations to the Rocketeers. Disappointing finish for the Flock. Congrats to the Lightning and Tax Evaders as well, winning their matches this game day. And yes, we look forward to the next set of games, which will be done this Wednesday. So tune in then, and thank you for appearing.